everybody? It is the last day of March 31st. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not close. Now you know this is a very special day at the brand, but as always, even if it's painful sometimes, we must look back. And we started off yesterday, A-Mags, Matty Snyder, solid right out of the blocks, and then everything went downhill. But what do you notice? You notice it was the NBA. And we're swearing off the NBA to a certain extent. You got to pick some games. But my goodness, how about showing up one time, Milwaukee? How about Jokic? We couldn't even play him because he sat out last night. We are done with the NBA, sort of. But as you guys know, when we head into another month and we have a very special Friday, sometimes you had a hard week. Sometimes work is difficult. Sometimes you just need a little pick-me-up. Well, that's what we're here for. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Big Pick Energy Friday. Let's go. And he gets these. Let's go. Oh, this is an embarrassment. An embarrassment of riches. Look at this. 6 wide on Big Pick Energy Friday. Where do I start? Well, I'll start with the man who didn't know when he was supposed to dance. And I told him, you will know. But yesterday was so nice. Yankees on the run line. Matthew Snyder, welcome to your very first Big Pick Energy Friday, sir.
Good to be here. I wanted to point out that I remember when I convinced AB to change his pick on the Cardinals because I made such a great argument. I said they were going to give up a lot of runs this year. They gave up 10 on opening day. Now, I know they're not going to give up 10 every single day. Some days they might give up 11 or 12, maybe even 13. Just wanted to dance a little bit, figuratively speaking there, since I didn't dance the right time physically. I
understand. By the way, and we need your help in the chat. We need a nickname that sticks. My man Matthew. Oh, did you just raise your eyes at me with a nickname on Early Edge? Oh.
Not at you, just in general about how I don't have a nickname. My feelings are still kind of down about A-Mags making fun of me yesterday.
I'm picking you up. He brought you down. First day. He's taking shots. All right, next. Live from parts unknown. Probably 2-time, probably 3-time. Just call him for dinner, please. PropStarz. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. I'm fired up. This is my first ever show with Chip and Matthew. The return of buckets. My cousin Sia, 6 wide. I'm stoked. Let's get after it.
Well, you mentioned the name, and, well, I guess I got to go there next. He has been gone for 2 weeks, and you all have been missing him, but a bunch. Ladies and gentlemen, there is only one. Buckets! Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. You all missed me, and I missed all of you. It is fantastic to be back here with the Early Edge family, and I'm excited to welcome back domestic play for soccer as well.
Oh, we got our first little submission for Matt's nickname, and I think it's appropriate. Snug the Cat says, how about Moody Matt?
Okay,
Moody
whatever.
See, that's what we're talking about. Moody Matt right there. All right, next. He is simply the counselor of cash. He's so good at making picks right now that the only thing that stops him is daylight. Sia Nejad, good morning, sir.
Yeah, we got stopped by daylight and rain yesterday. It looks like we're going to cash the Chris Kirk play. He's up like infinity shots over his opponent, but we are probably going to lose the plus 160 play. You're still going to come out on top for sure. But I'll note that the head-to-head matchups, the tournament matchups that we had from the early wedge, all of them are tracking really well. One of them's kind of already in the bag as we faded Davis Riley, but we've got Chris Kirk over Taylor Montgomery and Nick Taylor over Sam Ryder. Those look really good. It's early, but it's already starting to be a good day for the early wedge, and we're only on Friday.
Yeah, I'm heavy on Matt Kuchar, and he is in the top 5 currently as well. We got him top 10, top 20. We got you covered across the board. Now, he's the reason we named this show Big Pick Energy Friday. There is nobody that compares to this man. Say hello. And if this is your first time, you're welcome to Chip Patterson. Good morning, Chip.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Buckets. Good morning, Snyder. Good morning, PropStarz. Good morning, Sia. Good morning, Early Edge fam. And I got it. I mean, there's a lot in here. No cap Matt. Ooh, I like that. Snyder the sniper. Snyder the slider. I mean, we could go a lot of different ways with this. No cap Matt, incorporates the background. I'm just thrilled to be here and thrilled to be able to eavesdrop on a little baseball because, I mean, it's not my expertise. Daggum it, I love it.
What did I just say? You're welcome to everybody at home. The last 20 seconds. Come on. If you're not ready to fire up and run through a door, I am. Now, who's going to run through the door to win the national championship? That's where we're starting the show this morning. Gentlemen, let's get to it. Our marquee matchups. And here's the question. The first question of the day. And, Counselor, I'm coming to you. Here are the odds to win the national championship. FAU, 650. Miami, plus 500. San Diego State plus 375. Yesterday was plus 425. And UConn is the heavy favorite at minus 130. Sia, let's start with you. Of these four teams and those odds, which team would you take?
This is going to sound like a biased take because I'm 15 minutes north of the University of Miami and I'm 15 minutes south of Florida Atlantic University. But I like both of those. If I'm picking two numbers, it's going to be FAU, as I think they can knock off SDSU, and this run has been very impressive. It's not fraudulent by any stretch. Miami, though, I think is a team that, listen, I'm not taking UConn at minus 130. I think it's fine if you want to take that. But between Miami and FAU, that's kind of where I'm going to be. I think Miami can win the championship. So at plus 500, I think that's the one I like the most. But I think if you wanted to sprinkle on both the South Florida teams, I think that's perfectly fair.
Speaking of Miami, if you follow me on Twitter at the Coach Rules, right after the show, I'll be posting a brand new package that CBS Sports had me voice yesterday about Miami and their journey and the history of their basketball program. Pretty cool stuff. You can check it out at my Twitter page coming up right after the show. Chip, you heard Sia. What say you?
Yeah, it's very cool stuff. We love narratives, but also we love champions that look like champions, that have been champions all season long. Not a number 4 seed, more like a top 4 team in the entire country. Yeah, it got a little bumpy there at the top of Big East play, but then all of a sudden they rip off 13 of their last 15 games. Look, you take 130 now because it's going to be more expensive on the money line on Monday night. Dan Hurley and the Huskies are cutting down nets.
Oh, and by the way, somebody just said, let's go Owls in the chat. Who was that person? Well, none other than M Squared himself. That's right. Mikey is in the chat. If you have any questions for him, go ahead and write them in there. He will answer them in real time. By the way, I need you to do a solid for me. I don't ask you every single day, but the bosses called me yesterday. They said, Coach, you got to get that like button hit. It really matters to the growth of the show. So please make it a part of your day. When you log in, hit the like button, and then you can start talking in the chat for all you want. Just hit that like button for me and subscribe. All right. Thank you very much. Now, we're switching over to baseball because we got to include everybody else. Buckets, you want to play this next one?
Yeah, I want to play this next one.
Okay. Hit the prop. You didn't even know what it was. Here we go. This ought to be fun. So today, for each of these three to hit a home run, here are the odds. Pete Alonso, the slugger for the Mets, plus 500. Jordan Alvarez, who last night launched for the Astros, plus 280. Mookie Betts, plus 450. So, Buckets, why don't we start with you? Who do you think is going to hit a home run today? Pick the prop.
Well, as we all know, I'm a bit of an MLB guy, so I'm a big fan of this sport. Love what we're doing here. I'm surprised we didn't see the great himself, Jorge Soler, sitting up on that list. Currently, close on the pronunciation? Close enough?
Everybody will know who you're talking about. So
awesome. Plus 450 right now across sportsbooks. He is tremendous value, especially considering how well he hits against the left-handed pitchers there, Coach. So keep an eye on him this afternoon.
Which one? You said Soler, and then you said plus 4. So you're talking Soler is plus 450.
Soler is plus 450. Was I supposed to pick one of these?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I get what we're doing.
Matt, welcome to my world. Now, cool. Chris Brooks said it best. Classic buckets. That's all you got to say. Classic buckets. Corey says, Coach is so happy the buckets is back. You can see it all over my face. So happy he's back. So, buckets. Of these three, Who would you pick?
Mookie Betts.
Do you know where he was traded from to get to L.A.?
Is this a trivia question? for a giveaway for the chat?
Just asking. No, just asking.
I'd probably guess the Astros.
Matthew Snyder, we're going to go to you next. That's embarrassing.
On that note,
that is embarrassing. Which of these three, from an analytical point of view, please, would you take today, sir?
I immediately locked in on Pete Alonso. He's seen Jesus Luzardo about a dozen times in his career, and as I like to say, more familiarity, better for the hitter, less familiarity, better for the pitcher. Jesus Luzardo, Marlins starter, is prone to the home run. He gave up 22 years ago in just over 100 innings. He knocked it down to 11 last year, but that was in just about 100 innings again. So he can be gotten to. I like Alonso. He had some good swings on opening day, even if he didn't come through with a big home run yet. I like Alonso there on these odds. Also, Yordan Alvarez, it's always a good bet to throw a little bit on him hitting a home run. I was bitter that we took him off the board yesterday, and then he hit a home run, and I got even more mad at Snake for taking him off the board. So, I'm the sniper. I'm going to go with that one. So, yeah.
The sniper.
Yeah.
I like it. Snyder the sniper. Okay, we'll make that work. By the way, we get mad at Snake all the time. You're not the first. The other part was we had Aaron Judge on the board. We go, no.
I missed that on him. Yeah.
Yeah, and he hits the first pitch out of the yard. First pitch. Buckets, do you know who Aaron Judge plays for? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I don't
Coach, I only know 3 baseball teams. It's because I'm seeing their jerseys as are on the screen right now.
Yeah.
You can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. You literally can't. You couldn't even write this. If I wrote a script out, you could not write this.
Oh my gosh, that's why he said Astros. He just looked on the screen.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You just figured that out. Of course, that's why you picked the Astros. Oh, Chip, welcome.
He had a 50-50 chance between the other 2 jerseys.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's he's an analytical mind too. He's going to give himself the best chance to be able to get a winner.
And the orange pops.
Yeah.
So,
all right, PropStarz. Again, you picked a incredibly weird time to come on the show full time. Who are you picking in this scenario?
Give me Mookie Betts because I love to cash bets. And, he's facing Madison Bumgarner. Gave up 25 home runs last year. So let's go Mookie Betts.
Buffalo says he visits New York and he doesn't know the Yankees. All right, Sia, I'm coming to you. We've got a couple of Mookie bets, one legit from PropStarz, the other one, we know what that is. Who do you pick in this triumvirate?
If I could offer some more criticism for Jake, on behalf of Pete Alonso, this has got to be the most unflattering picture I've ever seen of some guy who's in a beer league, I'm assuming, but has a Mets jersey on. I feel like we can do better there. Speaking of doing better, I'm going to go with the shorter odds, plus 280. Give me Yordan Alvarez against Lance Lynn.
All right, Chip, bring it home.
We're going to go with Pete Alonso because our pets' heads are falling off on the pitching staff for the Mets. So that means all the big bats know they need to step up. So as Verlander goes to the IL yesterday, they're sitting there out there warming up. They're like, all right, we got to bring it today. So I'm going to go Pete Alonso with the Mets bats, knowing that they got to step up to the plate, literally.
All right. I love this pick the prop, and I'm trying to brainstorm how we can make it something to benefit the chat. So I'm trying to come up with that, and I'll figure it out. We always do. All right, great job by all of you. Great job by most of you. Okay, now it's time to get to our board. We've got a full board across all sports, but I got to pay these guys. They're very, very expensive, and we have a little network that we're going to be appearing on a whole bunch moving forward.
Get breaking news.
Big news coming out of the NFL today.
Highlights and instant reaction.
The largest final round comeback in tour championship history. We're down to the final 4.
I just want to take time to analyze greatness.
Talk winners and losers with a guy who's already a big winner.
CBS Sports HQ. It's all sports all day long.
All right, we have arrived at that time. We had a losing day yesterday. But unlike every other brand in the world, we bounce back because we're here every single day. We don't take time off. Except for Buckets just had 2 weeks off. So you're fresh. You're ready to go. So I'm going to come to you first. What do you got for us today as soccer makes it triumphant return?
Coach, I may not know my MLB, but I absolutely know my Danish Superligaen. We've got a matchup at 1 p.m. this afternoon between Odense BK and FC Midtjylland. And not only is FC Midtjylland fun to say, they're also the better team to bet on in this matchup. They are struggling this year on paper. However, this is a team that salary cap is more than 4 times that of their opponents. And they're also one of these weird teams that plays much better on the road. Milan has not lost in 15 away games straight right now. Take them draw no bet at -130 for our first pick here. Then hashtag the guru. I'm jumping to the English Championship where we have a matchup between Burnley and Sunderland here. Burnley money line is currently sitting at -220. It's a bit too pricey for me, even though I do like that look. So we're going to do a little bit of same game parlay action. Take Burnley money line plus over 1.5 goals in this game. Brings that all the way down to a playable line at -120. And just remember that this is Vincent Kompany's Burnley. This is a Burnley side that when playing at their home field Turf Moor, they have not lost a game yet this year. 17 games straight without a loss. Expect them to make that 18 this afternoon at 3 p.m. in the English Championship. And then for my third and final pick, I'm going to one of our show's favorite plays in Coach League. League is back this afternoon as we have Olympique Marseille taking on Montpellier, taking both teams to score here currently at -105. And this might be my favorite play of the day. The break timing does make this a little bit weird, but Marseille pre-break was dominating on the front third, but was lacking on the back third. They'd conceded 13 times over their last 6 games. Meanwhile, Montpellier, who's the worst team here, has not lost in their last 5. So they're slowly starting to click and put things together. I'm looking at a 2-1 kind of matchup here with Marseille taking the win.
All kidding aside, do you want to do that work? All of those Chick-fil-A nuggets today? Do you want to do that work? Educate and entertain. Buckets, well done. Buckets, well done. What are you looking at?
What's Sia doing? Why is his finger up?
Sia, please.
What is this?
Listen, really good analysis. And Buckets, I missed you. So did my Venmo, my wallet, my savings account, what have you. But here's the thing. I listened to the analysis, and I got to say, I thought the last one was a little weak-ish. The Olympique Marseille versus, of course, Montpellier, which I believe is the capital of Vermont. They can't have a great soccer team. They just can't. So I don't know that they're going to score. And I got to be honest, listen, I have invited Buckets to the golf world, and it hasn't been a good run. So, hey, why not jump in on a bet in his world, on his turf, on the pitch? I want to take the other side of this BTTS thing, which I guess it's a band. That's a South Korean band, right? The reality is, I think it's both teams to score. I don't think they're both going to score.
So do you have to ask him a question, Sia?
Well, I think it was kind of inferred here. Buckets, let me ask you, are you willing to accept this showdown on the pitch?
What the hell just happened? Yes, I am, Sia. Yes, I am. You're in my domain. Snake, play the music. It's gonna be a showdown.
Oh, things just got ratcheted up a little bit. Matthew Snyder's over here going, what is going on right now?
I'm doing the same thing.
No,
what's going on?
I told you this is a crazy show. Fridays are different. So we have, for the first time ever, let me set the table for you. Oh, even a salad fork this time. So we have now gone into Buckets world in the showdown space. Sia has gone in all by himself. So if Montpellier does not score today, Sia wins the showdown. If both teams do score, Buckets for the first time. What's your record against Sia? 0-13?
0-12.
0-12 on showdowns. He literally has paid for a month's, what do you call it at your kid's private school? That's what you pay for his to go to private school for a month. Thank you, Buckets. Thank you. I can't believe I didn't even know Sia was going to do that. I didn't know that. Wow, that's why we're all dumbfounded.
Yeah, right? No, I didn't announce it to anybody, including Buckets, but I just felt like it was my turn to go over to soccer. And I'm if you thought NBA Sia was sassy, wait till I win this one. Oh, buckle up.
There's gonna be a
takeover.
There's gonna be a soccer Sia? Oh my god. Okay, I gotta leave it right there. I gotta put a pin in it. All right. Proppy's sitting over there right now going, I used to be credible until I joined this show. All right, Alex, you're up, big boy. What do we got tonight?
All right, we've got 2 plays from the hardwood coach. I know it's been tough in the NBA streets. We're getting right back in there, starting with John Collins, over 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Collins really was looking for throughout the majority of the season. Nothing like the guy that averaged a double-double in the first 2 of his 3 seasons in the NBA. Looks to have finally gotten things turned around. He's eclipsed this line in 7 straight games. I attribute some of that to Quinn Snyder. He's also gotten consistent minutes, playing around 30 minutes per game. So give me John Collins over 18.5 PRA. And then we are going over to the Houston Rockets. Jalen Green over 22.5 points. There are quite a few things I like about this play. For one, it's in Houston, where Green's splits are a lot better. He averages 6 more points per game at home compared to on the road. The Rockets are also favored in this game against a terrible Pistons team right now by 4 points, I believe. He averages more points in victories compared to losses as well. So give me Jalen Green over 22.5 points. It's currently 23.5 points. Gave it out yesterday on the site. I would still play it there, but possibly scale down to half a unit at 23.5.
The chat says Little Geppetto is back, baby. Let's go. By the way, John Collins, very sneaky pick right there. I saw an interview with him where he was talking about how motivated they are to get to the playoffs, and he wants to do a bigger part. So this fits right into that narrative. Nice job, Alex. By the way, how come nobody's pointed out my little thing under my name today? I mean, that is, I think, very, very appropriate. I am very handsome, and EC does suck. So that was pretty nice. All right. So, Proppy, you've gone. Buckets, you went sort of. Now, down to the sniper. The snipe. Oh, it sounds so good. It sounds so good. That might be our winner right there. Sniper, yesterday, not only did you correctly, I'm going to tout you because you won't tout yourself. Not only did you correctly make the right pick, Yankees on the run line, we then ask you, would you play the under 3.5 for the first 5? You said 100%. Absolutely. I'm talking about runs later in the game. And what happened? The under came in the first 5, and those runs came in later in the game. Literally a perfect take. Can you do it 2 days in a row?
Yeah, we're going to go get it again. Yeah, and let's point out I sniped the Giants as well because I said they weren't even going to score.
Yes,
I said all the scoring was going to be the Yankees, and the Giants did their job and just were terrible on offense. So felt pretty good to get going. We're going to stick in New York and go with the Mets this time. Now I know they're playing in Miami, so that might not have been the best synergy that I thought it was. Jesus Luzardo, Marlins starter. Again, as I noted in the Alonso pick, he has a little home run trouble. I think the Mets are going to get him for a couple long balls. The last time he pitched in Miami against the Mets, he gave up 5 runs in less than 4 innings, and the Mets won 9-3. Mets starter David Peterson, a left-hander. He had a 1.46 ERA in 2 starts against the Marlins last year, and the Marlins were brutal against left-handers last year. I'm talking a 208 average against left-handed pitching last year. That bad. Their big offseason acquisition offensively was Luis Arias, and he's left-handed and he doesn't hit left-handers, so he's not going to be any help against David Peterson here. So I like the Mets all over the Marlins. We're going to go on the run line, so they're going to need to win by 2, which they will. They're going to win comfortably.
I love plus 143, but as we always say, when a season starts, be very careful. Just kind of put your toe in the water a little bit and trust my guys. Trust my guys. By the way, the chat says, Phil says BTTS equals buckets transfers to Sia. Sox Nation. Oh, I don't even know how I feel about this. Sia's a beast. Best capper you have. There are 6 of us on the show right now, and you type that, there's 5 of us that are offended right now. Now, it might be true, but we're offended right now. Big time. I see the offense all over the faces. It hurts. All right. Where do I go next? Well, you guys know Chip always goes last on Big Pick Energy Friday, so we have come to said beast. Said beast. Counselor, you're up.
I am not the best, and I don't appreciate you jinxing me, sir. But thank you anyway. By the way, Phil, that was elite acronym work right there. I'm going to go with a golf matchup. You can find this on DraftKings. It's a little finicky with golf matchups today because round 1 didn't even come close to ending, so I don't have the full complement of matchups. If I see another matchup I like on FanDuel or Caesars or DraftKings, I'll go ahead and tweet it out. But just something to keep in mind. I like Matt Kuchar. You know, Coach is on Matt Kuchar. We were on Matt Kuchar on the early wedge to some degree. I had him as a first-round leader. He almost got there, but it looks like he just got eclipsed as we got a couple people at 5 under. But I got Kuchar over Dietrich. Listen, Dietrich's playing better. He played well last week as well. I just don't think he's that guy. I think a lot of people have a lot of confidence in Dietrich, and I think they should, but I think the time is a little too soon to have that confidence in him. And I could see him, even though he had a good round 1 yesterday, I could see him stumbling on this course a little bit. Matt Kuchar, on the other hand, very consistent, very good track record, played very well yesterday, very good history here. He really checks all the boxes. So at minus 130, I think this is a solid play. Matt Kuchar over Thomas Dietrich.
I do too. I have JJ Spawn in a tournament play over Thomas Dietrich. So we have been, and we never talk about our bets, and it's amazing how often we agree at the early wedge. 3 p.m. on Tuesdays. You can check it out live or on demand. By the way, in the chat, at 3 Braves says, Coach, PGA has to do something about these rounds not ending. If you can do something about fog, if you can do something about rain, please, I would love to hear your suggestions. It was a fog delay for 2 hours yesterday. Come on. All right, we have stumbled through to this point. And by the way, if you are brand new to this show, you want to stick around until the end.
Mm-hmm.
You want to stick around until the end. That's all I'm going to say. Buckets, what are you doing? Why are you pointing there? Stop it. Just stop it. God, somehow I've missed you. I don't know how it works. Somehow I missed you. All right, Chip, you've had to sit there and wait and listen to everybody and Alex and Sia and Matthew sounding smart. But now it's your turn, big boy. And I know you are looking forward, laser focused, right in the eye. The Final Four starts tomorrow. Bring it to me.
All right, 6 wide, but I got a 4-pack. They got me on a pitch clock out here. Let's go. We start with FAU San Diego State. We are going under the 132. One thing that I am zeroed in on is the fact that FAU shoots about 26 3-pointers per game. Among the teams in the NCAA tournament, that is one of the highest frequencies in terms of how often a shot is a 3-point attempt. Here's the problem, Owls. You're going up against one of the best 3-point defenses in the entire country. San Diego State's opponents are shooting 18% from behind the arc, and that includes a 3 for 27 performance from Alabama in the Sweet 16. You talked to Creighton coaches after that game. He said there were hands everywhere. Everything was contested. And so I think that this is going to lead to a lower scoring game with FAU shooting a lot of threes, San Diego State doing a good job defending them, and also San Diego State in general. Its postseason opponents, all 7 of them, averaging 56.5 points per game. So we go under right there. Here we go. On to the next game. UConn-Miami, first half over 70. This is really simple. Both these teams have done a great job getting off to fast starts. First half total in Miami-Houston was 78. First half total in Miami-Texas was 82. First half total in UConn-Gonzaga was 71. First half total in UConn-Arkansas was 75. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all over 70. Okay, so we're just going to keep it moving right there. We go UConn team total over 77.5 in that Miami game because UConn's going to get a lot of second chance opportunities. They're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the entire country. Adama Sanogo is one of the best bigs in the entire country. And Donovan Clingan, the 7-footer freshman coming on at the end of his rookie year. I just think that they are going to be able to overwhelm Miami on the inside, get those second chance points. It's going to be difficult because I admit, like, Miami has some absolute flamethrowers out there. We've been talking about the walking buckets all season long, but I think that that is going to be a spot where Miami's defense ends up letting them down, which brings me to my final play from the 4-pack, and that's just to go ahead and lay it with the UConn Huskies. They were favored by 9.5. They won by 24. They were favored by 4. They won by 15. They were favored by 3.5. They won by 23. They were favored by 2.5. They won by 28. You cannot adjust your power rating fast enough to match the level that Danny Hurley's team is playing at, and I will finish on this. A quote from the scouting report on Miami's defense. Miami is an average defensive team that checks out with the efficiency ratings that can be pesky in the way they spring traps and prevent transition opportunities. Makes sense. They're long. They got a lot of athleticism, but they struggle to protect the rim. Close out shooters. Hello, Jordan Hawkins. And teams that move the ball well or put pressure in the paint have been an issue. So Jordan Hawkins, who's on fire from behind the arc for UConn, and Adama Sanogo, who's been the best big man in the tournament, averaging 20 points and 9.8 rebounds per game. And these are your weaknesses? Eesh. We lay it with the Huskies.
I say it all the time. Hashtag levels to this game. There's nobody else that can do what he just did the last 3 minutes. You try it. Go into the mirror today and just pick 4 teams. Pick 4 bets and just try to give 4 takes and see how that works for you. Levels to this game. Now, Matthew Snyder, I know you feel like the show is probably over. You, sir, would be incorrect. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of the Snake on the ones and the twos. The counselors on Matt Kuchar over Thomas Dietrich. By the way, Sia, chat question. Would you take Bill Hostler over Dietrich today?
I would not. I think it's a even play there. No edge to me.
All right. Then Buckets is on 3 plays today. Draw no bet. Say this name for me, Buckets.
Midtjylland.
Thank you. Burnley, money line and over 1.5 goals, -120. Then Marseille, Montpellier. Oh, both teams to score. And we have a showdown. Sia is on both teams not to score. Buckets is on his bet clearly. Then Chip, we got 4 dadgum bets here. San Diego State, FAU under 132. Now, full transparency, M squared in the chat is on the over in this play. Great situation that we tell you all the time. Take the information and use it for yourself. Whoever you might agree with, it's allowed. Dirty little secret, it's allowed. We're allowed to disagree. Then UConn, Miami, first half over 70. You heard the numbers. Every single game, UConn's been over the total. UConn team total over 77.5. And then UConn on the spread line -5.5. Then Matthew Snyder, he's on 1 play today. We're going to go Mets -1.5 plus 140 through. And then PropStarz. He's staying in those NBA streets, as he likes to say. They're dangerous streets right now. John Collins over 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Jalen Green over 22.5 points, -125. Now, here at Big Pick Energy Friday, we pride ourselves on being a worldwide show. We pride ourselves on going to the ends of the earth to get the information for you at home. But only one man takes it a step further for the here or there parlay. All right, James in the chat says it. He says, I love this show. James, we love doing this show so very, very much. But we have one very important thing left to do. I tell Buckets every single week, I need something that nobody else is looking at. And he always delivers. Buckets, let's go.
Coach, there is nobody else looking at a 3-part draw no bet parlay consisting of 2 games in the German second Bundesliga and 1 game in the Portugal Primera. Here's what we're doing this afternoon, everybody. The first 2 games start at 12:30 p.m., so get these picks in now. We are on the matchup between Fortuna Düsseldorf and Hamburg, and it is spelled exactly like hamburger. Do not tweet me jokes. I've seen them all. Düsseldorf, draw no bet on this first one. For the second match, we're on FC Nuremberg versus SV Darmstadt 98. We're taking Darmstadt, draw no bet. And for the third one, we're on Estoril Praia versus Gil Vicente. Take Gil Vicente, draw no bet. What we are doing with all 3 of these games is picking the better team with more motivation to win. Darmstadt needs to win this game to stay at the top of the table. Dusseldorf needs to win this game to stay out of the playoff battle for the next promotion. Gil Vicente needs to win this game to avoid relegation. And draw no bet across all 3 of these gives us the safety net that we love so much, especially because it's the first week back from international break. These 3 parlayed together, Coach, is at plus 450. And for once, all of them happen today.
What? The games are not Saturday?
Not Saturday.
No? Mm-hmm. Did you notice the next level producing that Snake had there with the leagues over to the left? We got the Primo Liga in Portugal, correct? That's the first game. And then Bundesliga 2 for the second 2, correct?
Correct.
All right, that's where you got to find those games. Tell you all the time, we can only lead you to the water. We can't help you drink. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Matt Snyder, would you ever come back on a Big Pick Energy Friday? That's
absolutely. Yeah, I wasn't ready for it all. I didn't know. And also, I have to say we were kind of having some fun at Buckets earlier for not knowing the baseball teams, but I will readily admit that looked like a bunch of typos on this one.
You should hear him try to spell these teams whenever we do a spelling bee. That's always fun. Little Geppetto. One of these days, we'll have to do a rap with some of these here or there teams and go old school with you.
That's going to cost a lot of – that's a big feature right there. That's going to be expensive.
I know it is. Right now, I can only afford Buckets. I cannot afford you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the damage that we can do. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. Hopefully you laughed a little bit. But hopefully you learned something because that's what we're all about. We want you to learn. We want you to enjoy yourselves and then go out into the world today and pay it forward. All right? So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, damn it, do I love them all. Matty Snyder, the sniper, the counselor, PropStarz, Buckets, my man Chip, and the snake who's going to yell at me after the show. I can already see it. I am the coach. Tell all your friends. You want to laugh a little bit? Learn a little bit? Cash a little bit? We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about at the Early Edge. Good luck.